My name's Mario Mahani, and this week's Aqua Tip we're using a kickboard. Now we're going to use the kickboard doing what I call the surfing. Now I have talked about this in videos before. So I talk about the surfing where you're tilting the board, angling it to the water. It's a name I came up with, of course. And you're just moving the board like this through the water, right? On an angle. It's called surfing. Now, you can choose to go the bigger angle, which is a lot harder, or you can go down lower, and that makes it harder again, right? The key thing here is that your fingers are spread apart, and your little finger on the very end does not wrap around the side. You've got to keep all of your hand, and ideally your wrist, on top of the board. So I want to show you a move that we're going to do with the surf today. So we're going to be kicking from side to side and adding the surfing motion. Check it out. Wow, that's so different when you use a kickboard compared to using any other piece of equipment. There's so much abdominal work involved to get the board to still surf whilst kicking from side to side. I also brought both my knees up towards my chest as I kick from side to side. So knees are coming up high. And I'm angling the board through the water. Wow, that's such a good workout. The heart rate will go up really quickly, very quickly. And you're doing this kick to side, you've got this upper body work as well. Now, one of the things is your hands have to work quite hard to try and stabilize the board. And that's not a bad thing, right? So even with arthritic fingers, and I've got a couple myself, this is actually really good stuff because I'm having to press my fingers straight into the board. So I'm pressing into the board, I'm getting a little bit of that work. So when you teach us on pool deck, which I'll go through later, there's some strategies on how to demonstrate this particular activity. But always make sure that they're lifting their knees up high because that will give them enough rebound time up to get the board from side to side. That board motion is big and it's not very fast. And so you need to jump up to just give you enough time to go from side to side. And the board also lifts you as well, so there's absolutely no excuse why people aren't rebounding. And that is this week's Aqua Tip. Demonstrating the side to side kick with the surfing board, or the board in the surf motion, or however you want to describe it. The very first thing that you'll need to do, my friends, is get a couple of very thick rubber bands. That's going to be key for you to be able to demonstrate keeping your hands on top of the board like that. Haha! That's how I do it when I teach on pool deck. I use the rubber bands to help show where my hands are, and that way I'm not reaching around to the side of the board to hold the board and then telling my clients not to do that. Okay, so that's the first thing. And then you demonstrate how you've got your hands spread really wide on the board for you to be able to maintain control. All right, so we've got the kick from side to side. The way I would demonstrate is kicking from side to side, surfing the board through the water, bringing the knees up towards your chest. You want to feel this in your abdominals. If you can, try and make sure that you're rebounding off the bottom of the pool and bringing both your knees up to the chest as you go from side to side. Now, to demonstrate that rebound is hard work, right? Your hands, you can't throw your arms around to help you because your arms are attached to the board. And this is why I like to use the Aqua frame. I don't sell the Aqua frame. I just think that this is a tool that is absolutely vital to be able to teach Aqua effectively. And what I'll do is I'll demonstrate what I just did there with the side-to-side kick. I'll do it in front of the frame so that everyone can see very clearly what I want them to start by doing. But then I get behind the frame and I say, watch this, make sure you're bringing your knees right up to your chest as you come up. Allow the board to lift you up out of the water and keep the arms moving in that surfing motion. So you're tilting the board as you go through the water. Using the frame helps me with lifting my body up off the ground without me having to propel myself up off the ground. And you know, when you're teaching an aqua class, there's so many limitations with the surface that you're on, and if it's wet or if it's slippery, of course the temperature that you're dealing with. And then you've got to demonstrate all these really amazing propulsive movement patterns. And if you teach more than one class a day, or perhaps more than 4 or 5 classes a week, you know, that you're starting to really push your system. It can be really difficult to do that. Therefore, I like to demonstrate without the frame to start with, show them what the movement looks like, get them moving, then get behind the frame to then highlight key aspects of the movement to enhance the performance. So that's the order. Get them moving first, show them the big picture, and then focus on what you can do to enhance their movement in the water. That's a simple formula. I hope that you find that useful, and that is this week's Aqua Tip.